Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I'm here again, as always, thinking about ways to see if we can bring some order to our social existence here in America and the world. I was thinking I had seen on a soap opera some reviews of some things that happened back in time. I also saw on the internet the Poor People's Campaign, PPC, the prepare of the breach with Brother Barber. And I'm really excited about what they're doing, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. And I'm very sad that we, the poor people, are not getting the kind of attention that we seek and that would be necessary in order for us to make the kind of changes that are required to bring us some satisfaction, us meaning those who are hurting. And I'm reminded back in the day when I was a younger man, much younger man, in the early 60s, we had the same movement, Poor People's Campaign. And they had planned on doing some great things with it. The leader of it, the spokesman for it, was killed, and for that end portion of it, we didn't get a chance to express that as we would. But up until that point, there was something going on. The people were involved, the people were engaged, because we, the people, were suffering. We were in the cotton fields picking cotton, get that little change, go to town on Saturday night, try to buy some food to last through the next week. Sometime going gigging, shooting rabbits and stuff, living almost like they used to live back in the Western days. Thinking about that. But people were going through enough to care about one another. They got fed up enough to be able to stand up and march, go to rallies, protest, take beatings, take threats to their lives, some of them killed. When they go to get arrested and stuff like this, other people within the neighborhood or community would keep their kids, make sure they got to school and everything. But there was something that was more important than normal. Something more important than getting up every day, realizing that you got to go through another day of a life that you have prayed to change and is never changing. And now you got somebody that's going to inspire you to go and do something about it. Man, I sure wish I had the wherewithal to meet with Brother Barber and the people that he's associated with. But I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm too broke to do that. So I had to sit around and do what I can in my community and say what I can. Hopefully it would be inspirational to those of you who are already doing something, that you know you're not alone, that your dreams and aspirations are solid in God's hand, and that all we have to do is to find some way to come together, because we are on a righteous path. I was thinking about this, it was like so important. I'm thinking about how it was, the people were so worked up back in the day, and we didn't achieve that ultimate goal. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this to the Poor People Campaign and to those who care. Let me say something to you. Back in the day, we were just trying to fit in with the system. Dr. King talked about the Bible, he talked about God, he talked about righteousness. But more or less, he was trying to adjust that because of the Constitution, which said that it was in line with certain portions of that, and it wasn't. And he was calling attention to that. My philosophy, to those of you who care, is really not about the system of government. It's not about the Constitution per se. Nah, that's too many things to be caught up and worried about. So I want the ultimate thing, the ultimate law, and that is the moral law. The moral law, other laws say they use the moral law to guide them. But if you're following the moral law, you don't worry about what they're doing. Because anything that they're doing outside of the moral law, if you are a leader of the faith, you're not doing it anyway. And I'm not to say that I'm a leader of the faith. I'm sure that I do. All of us do wrong things. Wrong things mean things that does not work for us. Evil means knowing it and do it anyway. And knowing that the repercussions might be drastic, but you don't care. That's evil. So, as I think about this, I think about it really, really long and hard. What can we do? What does God say? And that's the premise. This is what I have found that most people do not understand. Let me ask you, like this. What can you tell me about God's plan of life? Human beings being on this earth. In the beginning, now ending. What is God's plan for man on earth? Considering all that God is, what is man's plan? Now, I'm not saying that you haven't thought about it. I'm sure you have. How deeply have you thought about it? I don't know. But if you can come off talking like this, you've given it a lot of thought. You know what you're talking about. It's meant something to you. But if you start talking that wee stuff, that's not bad. You just haven't had any reason to come closer. And so here you are. And that's why we are. But let me tell you something simple, ladies and gentlemen. When people ask you about God's plan of life, let me tell you the most simplest form that you can get. Here is the simplest form. The earth and all that exists on the earth is a given from a power we can't see, can't touch, can't feel. But for some strange reason, it exists. And we call it existing by the power of God. God really means invisible. We don't know who you are, but you're great. God. Now in this earth, you have all kinds of resources. I mean, look at the earth. It's as beautiful as it could possibly be. You know, the grass, the flowers, the trees, the valleys, the mountains, the oceans, the seas, you know the story. Man, magnificent clouds, ooh, the sun, the moon, the stars. Oh, I just want to give you the giblets. It's so fantastic. And then out of that, human beings, you and I, planned. So what we do, we find out that this earth was created for living things. All kinds of living things. Yeah, oof. I don't want to mention it, might make my flesh crawl. But all kinds of living things on this earth. And on this earth you have resources that are essential and necessary to provide for survival of all things that live. Food. I mean, the resources to make sure that from the day man came on the earth to the day man exists no more, anything that man can imagine, and anything that man can imagine, he's already seen it, it can be done. So anything that man can imagine, God has given the gifts and blessings that might be made manifest. And just like God, the creator, now man is a creator. Creator, do the work of God. Create, just God being glorified through us. The gifts. And each gift is not just a gift. It's something that's unique, special for you, that you come to the earth to bring, to give, to contribute, to play a part in the process of creating all of those things that comes from the minds and imagination of men and women, human beings. And together, you as people, all of us as people, using the gifts in the areas in which they have been given, applying ourselves, making sure that there's never anything missing that we need for food, especially these, clothing and shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, because we'd like to go someplace, infrastructure, anything, as I said, that we can imagine. Now, all of these blessings are ours because we engage ourselves. Some of us are teachers. We teach, and we got all the blessings that life has to offer. Some of us dig ditches, and we got all the blessings that life offers. Some of us pick up trash and dump trash, and now we got all the blessings that life offers. Some of us manage and organize the plans of life that serve we the people, and now you got all the blessings that life offers. Every last one of us. Some of us take care of the sick. Some of us have to give baths to those who are, for some strange reason, haven't healed yet. But you got all the blessings that life has to offer. Men and the women, the old folks and the young, the blacks and the whites, and all that in between. And you know what you have? Peace and prosperity and freedom and joy. The fulfillment of your dreams. All your needs, all your wants, and your desires met. Simply by loving God and allowing God to live in you, and letting that God that you love that lives in you be made manifest and known through the way you live and deal with others. Woo! Now the message is for the Poor People's Campaign. Now, what I've just shared with you, if you're a child of God and know it, you already know what I've just said. I have just given you permission to say it's all right, because you already knew it. You just need somebody to confirm. So this gift has come to confirm what you already know. But there are millions throughout the communities that know nothing about what we just shared. They must get this message. They're not getting it from the churches because the churches don't know that. It's not that the churches are against God. It's just that this part of the message the church does not know. And so it is our duty to take it to the world, to take it all throughout America. And ladies and gentlemen, and especially those of you of the Poor People's Campaign, you're needed. You're needed because just what I share with you, you might say, I think, this is a big challenge. How can we accomplish this? Let me tell you the simplest way. What we have said here is truth, so that's no doubt. So let's take it to the public. Take it to the public addressing their concerns. And what are their concerns? Their concerns are the places where they're suffering, not being able to pay bills, not having decent housing, not being able to do other things. You know what they are. We all go through it. And tell them to bring that stuff to the front. Tell them, let's fix this problem. Bring it out here. You matter. There are people in the world who don't have any of these things to worry about. And what's different for them than you is that they got a system that's working for them and you don't. So you want to bring these people together in the community, in the city, throughout the city. Get these people together. And then after you come together, you've recognized that your problems are you don't want to deal with them anymore. You want them fixed. You got a leadership. You got a mayor and aldermen or whatever you want, city councilmen. Go take this stuff to them. Address it. To ask them to work with you to fix this. Come up with a plan before you start out there trying to fix it. You make sure you come up with a plan of how you're going to fix it. Don't be wasting some time, because the mind is greater. It's really you got to see it first before you can get it. Come up with the plan. And if you can't come up with the plan, implement it. If you can't come up with the plan, then take it to the next level, because the city level, they can't help. Ask the city to come along with you. Your government, they shouldn't have any problem coming along with you. They are to represent you. Now take it to the state level. Now this is happening in every city. Every city this message is getting around. And if it can't happen, every city within the state, come to the state level. The same thing that you did starting with the city level. Now you're going to the state at the state level and taking your state problems to the state. These are our problems. These are the things that we're fed up with. These are the things we want to fix. You are the leadership. You know, you said you had the best plans. Let's fix this. Work with us. Let us work with you. Let's fix this. Then come up with a plan. Come up with a plan. Put this stuff on paper. And if you can't do it, that means that the government of the state has failed. So what are you going to do? You're going to change it. What do? Now you got the people in every city, in every state, coming to the national level. Washington, the big boy. You know, the ones who got the big guns, the one that can do the real things to you, the big minds. Here are our problems within this country. We need them fixed. You guys are the leadership. We'll work with you, you work with us. Let's fix this. And then come up with a plan. Put it on paper. You know, you work it out somehow. Let the Congress do what they do, and the whole Washington do what they do. You do what you do. Come back together, put the stuff together, see how you gonna do it. And it got to be just like we just got through talking about it. All right? Now, if that can't happen, then you have proven to yourselves that the system-wide government of the United States, or any country that you try this in, if it can't fix your problems, it is a failed system. And that system got to change. To anybody who's got any sense, that system has got to change. And if you research to find out why these things that work for all of you have not existed, then some way there's the answer. So I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, I propose to you the answer that I just given you a moment ago. I propose that you let the world, well, I don't take it to the world yet, that your city, your town, and your state, and throughout the United States, as you do stuff, get it to spread like it needs to be spread. We would change. It's not going to happen overnight, but we got to do it. This is what I would offer. This is what I've been trying for 40 years, and I found out that people don't know anything about it. But I have just been speaking. Now, another thing, we've gotten to that point. Now I'm going to say some stuff that might be controversial. I'm going to ask black people and people of color to take the lead in this movement. Now we want, when I say the Poor People's Campaign and Reverend Barber, we're talking about spiritual leadership there. But in terms of just community, I'm personally, asking black people to take the lead in this particular endeavor. Now, why am I asking black people to do that? I'm asking black people to do it in this country because the whites of this country have failed that position. They've had that position ever since we've been in existence. They failed. And so now I am asking black people to take the leadership. That is one reason. Another reason is because in their failure, they have resigned themselves not to go forward, but to go backwards. To go backwards. To go backwards. And that's not happening. So what we have to do, I'm asking you to understand. Look at the Republican Party. The Republican Party, they even refuse to approve the limit, increase the budget for the country. Why? You don't know. I don't know. They know. All we know is it hurts. And they don't even care. Democrats are talking about more. That sounds better. But then now to get those who won't do anything to do just a little bit, they got to walk it back. But every step back means that pain and suffering. That's letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, that what I've just gotten through telling you is the evidence by what's happening right now. But all white people and all Republicans are not taking that dark side. And this is why I'm saying that, because Trump represents the dark side. Why do I say he represents the darkness? Because he lies, he brags on it. He cheats, he brags on his ability to get by. He does all of these things that's very negative and brags on it. And by doing it, it represents the darkness. It causes pain. It adds to racism and bigotry. All of those things that we say are so filthy. That's what the Republican Party stands for now. That's what it stands for. We call that the dark side. They're trying to take people down to hell, kill people, start war, all that. We're not for that. We want to lift people up. And we're going to spend our time using it beautifully. We're not going to argue with evil. We're going to glorify the moral things to do. Lift it up every day. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. When the evil is over there doing that thing, you might just, I know you won't be just turning it loose, but don't deal with it. Lift up what we're talking about, where everybody got a job. Everybody got a job, a good job, loving a job. And it affords them everything that's in life. You get a job, got a job that you love, and it affords you everything in life. Let me give you one more thing and I'm gonna leave. This guy, they were talking about this plays basketball. They say he's the highest paid basketball player. I don't know his name because I'm not into that stuff anymore. But he is in a situation where he won't tell people whether he's been vaccinated or not. And they're saying that the game that he missed, each game that he missed, he will be missing basically a $500,000 payment. A $500,000 payment. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. Here's a man who loves playing basketball, bouncing. Woo, he loves it. And he gets a chance to do that. And he gets paid at least almost $500,000 a game. Can you look at this? I'm playing ball. Don't think about what you're doing. You love doing, you love drawing. And you got the benefits of everything on earth, or everything in America, or everything that this system controls. You are singing a song, or as I said earlier, picking leaves up in somebody's yard, trimming